So you'd think it'd be self-explanatory at this point that we all kind of know what Swedish people look like, and hold on, bear with me, there's a point to what I'm saying. We know what Swedish people look like, and we know what they definitely looked like in the 1800s. They looked like the white guy over here. Where is he? Over here. They definitely didn't look like this guy, which is why Netflix is receiving a huge amount of backlash for casting in this Lebanese dude to act out the Swedish king, I think it is. Netflix upcoming Swedish period drama The Von Fersens is set in the 18th century Stockholm and focuses on the romantic lives of siblings Axel von Fersen and Sophie Piper. And it's drawn huge amount of criticism for casting a Lebanese Swedish actor called Alexander Abdallah as King Gustav III. This dude is not King Gustav. This dude is not what King Gustav would have looked like. And guys, I'm so over Netflix kind of trying to rewrite history to make it look like history was a big diversity hire. That history really had Lebanese people ruling Sweden. That it doesn't matter that he was clearly the whitest nation in the world. Like, have you ever met Swedes? They are the whitest of whites. But nowadays, we don't really care about that. Let's just put in a dark, curly head, clearly Arab-looking guy, because that makes sense. I mean, it kind of feels like the Harry Potter fiasco, where they're bringing in now a black Snape. Ugh, that drives me insane. And when I went to see the show in London, they had a black Hermione. Who are you kidding? Who are you guys kidding? We all love J.K. Rowling, champion of free speech, absolutely brilliant woman. She is by far one of the only people in the world that I would have a meltdown if I met. But this is an example of what we're seeing time and time again. They're trying to pretend that gay things are normal. They're trying to pretend that diversity was a thing back then. And not that this guy would have probably been the slave of the king. Definitely not the king itself. It's rewriting history through TV. And I have a problem with it. Not because I care if this guy is white or dark or whatever he is, but because I want, when I watch a historical drama, to kind of have an understanding of what went down. You see, it's really impressionable. My mom, as a kid, never let me watch The Prince of Egypt because she said, as a Jewish person, you have to really connect to the story of the Jews leaving Egypt. And because the movie was so historically incorrect, she's like, I don't want you to have those memories in your head, because the way that you watch, what you watch, is what you're going to remember to be as facts. Us pretending, literally pretending that Lebanese people ruled Sweden in the 1800s is just factually incorrect. Why is it so important for these places like Netflix to cast people who so don't match? It's like the Snow White thing, where they cast that girl who is clearly not white. I mean, her name is Snow White. Why are we struggling with this so much? Why do we have to put our own political things above just being honest to history? Like, it's okay if things weren't great back then, if it's true that everybody really in the elite was white, like, maybe let's talk about that and see if we can make a difference. Not that bringing in people who aren't white to the monarchy is a good idea. The English family. Rachel from Suits. You all know what I'm saying. Meghan Markle, shout out to you. And don't do yourself a favor. Don't watch their show. A, because it supports Netflix, but also because it's really hard to watch. But this is just so infuriating. The fact that we've taken nowadays, we have so conceited as a society to think that the morals and the values that we have now, they're so important that they're worthy of us literally rewriting history so that people like this can feel better about themselves. What a sham. Thank you for your attention to this matter.